Hello friends, my name is Vinod. Welcome to VR Technosoft. So in this video, we are going to discuss about one of the tasks. So let me explain you what is the task we are going to do today. So how to purging the unwanted tables from the database. So the purging means here, so there will be multiple meanings for that, like cleaning, removing, or cleansing. Okay. So for an example, usually developers whenever they are creating any table names or store poser names, so sometimes they are creating like a temp underscore some table names, or sometimes they when they are taking the backups and all, simply they are keeping create poser name and underscore backup, something like that. They will keep some keywords for the objects. So now there is a requirement, like we need to remove all those objects, so which contains these particular keywords, like a temp, bkp is nothing but backup, again backup full form, and then tmp. So if any object, so basically here I'm just taking the object means only tables, but generally objects means we can consider all objects in sql server, like views, synonyms, or functions, anything. But as of now, I'll consider only the tables. So any table in a particular database contains the name like temp underscore some table name, or table name underscore some bkp, or table name underscore backup, or table name underscore tmp. So we should remove all those tables from that particular database. So that is what basically purging the unwanted tables from the database. Now again, we have to create a procedure for that. That is what the requirements I am going to explain today. So here this requirement, this purging the unwanted tables, we need to do it inside the store procedure. Now here is the requirement: we need to create a procedure, and that procedure is required two parameters. One is database name and the schema name. So database name, why it is database name means, if I'm passing a one particular database, from that particular database only I want to remove all the unwanted tables. And even the schema also, in the schema there are two things. If suppose if the user is passing any schema name, let's say dbo, then I want to remove all the tables under that particular schema, so which are containing these keywords. And the second requirement here is, if they're not providing any schema, for an example, if it is null, then we have to consider all the schemas which contains these keywords, then we have to remove all those tables. So that is what my requirement here. And these conditions, all these things we need to achieve inside the store poser. Now before creating a store poser, let me get back all the tables which contains these keywords, and from which tables or which views we have to use for this. So let's go to sql server and see what exactly we have to use. Now generally people know it, like all the table information will get stored in the information schema views. So let's go to the view name called select star from information underscore schema dot tables. So when I execute this, so if you see here, table underscore catalog, so which is nothing but we have a particular database name here, and then which schema that table is belongs to, then after the table name, and then table type, whether it is a base table or whether it is a temporary table or a view or a store poser, anything. So as of now, we'll try to take only base tables, so that then after we need to consider the keywords, the temp backup and all, and finally we have to filter and drop those tables from that particular database. That is what the requirement here. Now let me filter the base tables first. So we need to write a where class here. So as of now, I'll just hard code all the values in the table. Whenever you're writing a store closure, that point of time I'll just make it as dynamic. Now tbl underscore type equals to base table, so that it will give you only the base table information. And then after, and I'll go for another case, that so table underscore catalog. So table underscore catalog is nothing but database name. So database name, generally as I said in the requirement, the client or user will pass the database name from the input from the input parameter, that is in the store poser, so that we need to defaultly take that value and pass it to my query. But as of now, I'll just hard code my database name as VR Technosoft. And then, and also let me consider table schema equals to, and again here also I'll just mention DBO as of now, then later on we'll change this query into dynamic. And they're saying that these table names which contains those 4 keywords, so we should consider all those table names. So for that, what condition we can write it over here is table underscore name like, so we have to write multiple conditions here with or condition. So and table name like, so single quote percentage in between we have to write temp, because we don't know where we have kept that temp. It can be before prefix or suffix, or in between also we might have mentioned that temp keyword. So that's where I have mentioned percentage, so that wherever it will be present, it will retrieve that particular table name. Now again, or we have to get back all the 4 keywords here. So BKP, the second one, and then third one will be backup, and then fourth one will be TMP, so which is again temp. So with any base table which contains these 4 keywords should get all the records for us. So let me again put a bracket over here, and as of now we don't have any tables. Okay, so for time being, let me create a table with any of one keyword, then we'll see whether it is our query is retrieving the table or not. So let me put with a DBO schema only, test underscore some employee table, and I'll just put only one column name for time being and create it. Let's see whether it will come here or not. So it's not coming, so let's see. So yeah, so here I had put test actually, so that's why it is not coming. So let me put the test also. I'll also include one more keyword here, so into my requirement, and we'll see. So then it will come. So this should be test. So if you see, now I took 5 keywords, so any of these keywords comes, then it should automatically create the take out that particular tables, filter out that tables. So if I put, let's say temp, then that table also should get create, and then it should come in my query because it contains temp keyword. Okay, so now let me go and create. So we know how to retrieve all these tables which contains all these keywords. Then we'll go and create a store poser for that. So I'll take another window here, create procedure, and procedure name I'll just keep it as stp underscore uh, like purging the tables, or purging unwanted tables or junk tables, anything we can do. Junk tables is fine, it will be meaningful. And they said 2 parameters are going to be passed. So one is at the rate of database name, which is I can make it as varchar of 50 or 100, then, and I'll put it as null. Then anyway, the client will definitely pass a parameter here. Why? Because if you see in my requirement, DB name is mandatory and the schema name it's not mandatory. So as I said, if they are passing schema name, then we should filter it. If they are not passing any schema name, then we should get all the schemas with respect to these keywords. So here I'll pass it as schema name, so which is varchar of, again I'll make it as 100 only, and defaultly I'll put it as null. Why? Because if they are not passing anything, defaultly I'll consider as null, and based upon that condition, so I'll just take out all the schemas. So as begin, now there are 2 conditions here for the schema. So one is if they are passing something and if they are not passing something. So for an example, let's say if they are passing some value, if they are passing some value is nothing but it is not null. So correct. So that's why I'll go for first not null condition. So if this schema name is not null, so which means they're passing a specific schema name, so that we need to retrieve the data from that particular schema. So let me put a begin statement here, begin and end. So this is how we'll build a store poser. Line by line we'll build. We'll not write the whole logic at a time, but we'll write only one line by line. So here I'm just doing the alignment as well. So now if you see the table name, we have hard coded. So here table type is always base table only. Otherwise, if you want to remove all the views or any store posers and all, you can just comment out this particular where like this condition. So this is hard coded now. Now whereas the table catalog is nothing but it's a database name. So database name as of now we are hard coded, but as the client said, the requirement said, so we have to dynamically take it from the input parameter whatever the client is passing. So I'll just pass it over here. Now next, the schema, the what they are saying is, if it is not null means what? So they are passing a some value. So you can put a comment over here saying that schema name is there, like that you can put, or you can put some other comment also. So schema is exist, okay, like that you can mention some comment. So now here also we should not take this hard coded value, whatever the client is passing, that schema we have to mention over here. Only from that particular schema we have to get all the table names which contains these keywords. Anyway, these keywords are hard coded only because the client has mentioned that only the tables which contains these keywords should get removed, right? So now I'll just end this. Now this begin is for this if class and this end is for that begin, and then one more end is required for your store poser. So still we need to write a few more lines for store POC. Now from this store procedure, from this particular information schema views, so what exactly we required over here is, let me execute. We need these tables to drop, right? So what I will do is, I'll take only these particular tables along with the schema name, and I'll add a drop syntax as well, so that we can directly drop it. So what I will do over here is, I'll write a drop syntax like drop. I'll just hard code drop table, because it's a base table, right? Always. So drop table, then plus. So we don't know what schema they're passing, right? So what we have to do, we have to take it from this schema name plus, and then we have to then there will be a dot between your table name and schema name. Then you need to put the dot in the single quote here, and then your table name. So you can put table. So plus we have to add there, because we are concatenating each and everything there. Table underscore name. So if I execute this, if you want, you can just execute in another window and see whether it is coming properly or not. So here it is coming as drop table name. Sorry, drop table, this schema name, and your table name. So you should not put db over here. Why? Because it is always coming as a dynamic through a parameter. So now the same syntax I'll use it over there as well. So here I'll write, and so either you can directly call this column name from this particular schema table. Otherwise, you can directly put the schema name over here as well. And one important thing here is, so we did not mention a table where this information schema views we have to consider, because in each and every database, if you go and check, we have separate information schema views. So let me show you for an example. So under VR Technosoft, go to views. So if you see, we have a system views. So we have all system information schema views are there. And when you go to other database, for an example, this database, so under views, again views, we have similar kind of stuff. but the information views contains related information about this particular database. It's not same in all the databases. So what you need to do is, here before the table name and the schema name, we also need to consider the database name. But database name we should not hard code. We have to take it again from the parameter as a dynamic value. So what I will do is, here I'll put parameter name plus, not here. So before this you have to put plus, because we are concatenating drop table then database name. So again, between database name and schema name there will be a dot button here. So I'll put in single quote the dot. Then so the syntax is like this: drop table database name dot schema name dot table name. So that it's a proper syntax, so to drop any particular table which contains those keywords. Yes. So now whatever data we are getting, so this drop syntax, let me put it in a temporary table so that I can use the temporary table to dump the data, and then I can able to truncate, or I can able to loop it, then we can drop this table one by one. So let me create a table. Before that, create table. So let me put ash purging, or yeah, purging tables or purging junk tables, something like that. Now here I'll take two columns here. One is id integer with identity of 1 comma 1. So I'll tell you why I'm taking this identity. And also I'll put just the syntax or table name, you can put anything, syntax, and it will be, let's say, varchar of 256 something. So 256 I have mentioned because it's a default number people used to use in the real time. And this table will always recreate, because it's a temporary table, local temporary table. So now in this table, whatever syntax I'm getting, I'll just store it. So as id is containing identity, so you no need to insert values into it. It's a default values, automatically it will get inserted. And I'll just mention over the column over here. And it's not mandatory to mention column name. Obviously it will take the values into syntax, because it's an identity, it knows it automatically generate a value. Now this is for one scenario. If the client is passing a schema name, then we'll filter that schema related tables, and we are dumping over here with respect to these keywords. Now the another requirement what they said is, if they are not giving any schemas, for an example, we have to consider all the schemas, but again we have to consider these keywords as well. So now what I will do is, I'll go for null value. So which means what they're saying is, if they're not passing any value, defaultly it will be null only. So at that time what you need to do is, let me go with else condition. So if it is not null, this is the case. If it is a null, obviously they're not passing anything. So directly either you can put if schema name is null condition, otherwise directly you can put else also. Both are same. So let me put begin and end. Now here what I will do is, same syntax I'll copy paste, but we have to remove some content over here. So now out of this particular query, what we have to remove is, they're saying they're not going to pass any schema. So which means no need to put any where clause. So we have to consider all the tables which contains this keyword with irrespective of this schema name. So we have to remove this condition. That's it. Everything remains same. And these things and all you should not change, because the table schema and table name, everything will be coming dynamically from this particular schema table, information schema underscore tables view, right? So now either one of the condition will get execute at a time, and the data will get dumped into this particular table. Now let me see whether the data is really getting inserted into this table or not, and then later on we'll go and drop that data. Let me see. I'll just put select star from that purging table, and I'll just create my procedure as well. And as I required the execution statement, I'll just put exec command and then my procedure name. I also required the database name, maybe input parameter values. So let me put parameter equals to some database. I'll go for same. We have Technosoft database, and my schema name I'll just consider as a DBO as of now. And let's see whether we have created any tables or not, or we can just create some tables with these keywords automatically, or let me check whether it is there or not. Yes, obviously we have these two, let it be. So with these two conditions we'll go on to check it. Now if I execute this, obviously I should get the data into this particular table, and we'll see whether it is getting or not. Yeah, so now if you see, there are identity values are getting generated automatically. As there are two values, two identity values are there. Then the syntax is like this: drop table from this particular database, then my schema is DBO, and then temp underscore my employee table, and then test underscore employee with respect to schema. Let me also put different schema unchecked once. So let me create a different schema now. So schema, so let me put different schema name like, so test under, or let me put different name like okay, I'll put my name, schema name, create schema Vinod. Now let me create another table called Vinod schema name dot my employee table name underscore. So I'll keep any of this keyword. Let's say let me put gap backup, and I'll also put some column name in it. So let me see whether it will be coming or not. So when you execute the same query, see, you will get the same result set, because your temporary table will get recreated again and again when you execute it. So let me change my schema name now. So let me pass Vinod, but same database. So now if you see, it will fetch only the schemas which are come under Vinod, and then any keywords which contains in that particular table. So only backup is containing, right? So we'll be getting only one as of now. So now we also need to check for other condition, that is null, for an example. So they are not passing any value for an example. So that point of time we'll see what exactly it will be considered. So because it has to retrieve everything, if you see it is considering all the schemas irrespective of any schema. It is taking all the tables which contains these keywords like test, temp, backup, everything. So our requirement is fulfilling here, correct? So now our main requirement is to drop those tables. So what I will do is, as of now it is two tables. Sometimes it will be 10, sometimes it will be 30, we don't know. So we have to take each and every query, and then we have to drop the tables. So what I will do is, I'll write a loop over here so that it will be easy. Now to loop the to write a loop condition, definitely we need to consider this identity id column. That's why I created this identity. So let me create two variables. So variables should be created generally after begin, and you can just put some comment over here saying that declaration of variables or variable declaration, anything is fine, so that people can understand easily variable declaration. Now here you can put at the rate of, I'll just put minimum. So we also need to mention the declare keyword before that, minimum integer, and then comma. I also required one more integer called, so one more variable called at the rate of max integer, and I also required one more variable, that is syntax. So I'll tell you why exactly it requires 256. I'll just mention. So these are the variables I required. Now what I will do is, to write a loop condition, definitely we require some minimum and maximum value to loop it. So let's take out this particular execution statement in another window. So now what you can do over here is, we'll first set up a value, set at the rate of minimum equals to. Now in my purging table, so generally when I'm executing this, I do have totally three rows. Now what I will do is, I'll write a while loop starting from 1 to 3. So first I'll select the minimum value, then I'll also select the maximum value from that table. So I'll write a syntax for that. Min of id, this will be a dynamic actually. So how many number of rows are there? So from that it will select minimum and maximum. So select min of id from purging table, and then again I'll select the maximum id, so that on basis on that I can go and write the while loop condition. So select max, then here also I can put select max of id, I'll take it. So now in this I do have 1, in this I do have 3, because we have only 3 rows. If there are 100 rows, always minimum value will be 1, then the maximum will be 100. Now there is another variable which I have considered here. I have declared at the rate of syntax. Now what I will do is, by using this minimum value, first I will get this syntax, first syntax, and I'll store it in a one particular variable. So for that I am writing a condition over here saying that select syntax from my purging table. I'll select the first row, first syntax, where id equals to, so in my variable at the rate of minimum variable, the initial value will be 1, right? So here as of now it will be 3. So consider like that. Now I should not put directly here 1, I'll just mention it as a at the rate of minimum, because we have stored that value in the minimum variable. So it's better to use that variable to make it dynamic. Now let me write a while loop. So my while loop should run until this condition is true, until this condition is false. So at the rate of max greater than or equals to at the rate of min. So let me explain after writing this syntax. So let me put a begin statement, then let me write a end also. So here closing bracket is required, that's why it is showing error here. So now the initial value in the max is 3, in the initial value in the minimum will be 1. So now 3 greater than or equals to 1, it's a true condition, because 3 is greater than 1, right? So it's a true condition, so that it will come into the loop, it will come into the loop. Now what I will do is, maybe we can write a simple dynamic SQL to drop your tables and all. So what I will do is, I'll write a simple dynamic SQL. For that we required a variable. Let me declare here at the rate of SQL, and let me put varchar of max. So I'll just put this declare statement in the top. I don't want to keep here and there. So we can put one more declare statement if you want, that's fine, or you can put a comma. So in dynamic SQL, what I will do is, I'll just store my syntax. So my dropic syntax, so set at the rate of SQL equals to, now in this syntax already the first drop statement is stored, this drop statement. So that drop statement I'll put it in my at the rate of SQL. So I'll just append over here. Now this variable generally contains this value, this syntax, drop table via Technosoft, and this schema name, then table name. So that syntax we have to execute it now. To execute, so what you can do is, this variable contains that syntax, right? So to execute this variable, we'll write a syntax saying that exec of this variable name, because this variable contains that syntax now. So now it will execute this command. So whatever inside it, this drop statement, it will get execute and it will drop that table. That is what exactly it will do. Now first it contains the first syntax, right? Now first syntax it get dropped. Now it has to go to the second one. So to go to second one, what I will do is, I'll do increment for my minimum value. So what I will do is, I'll write a set statement, set at the rate of min equals to, I'll just increment +1. Now what will happen means, already in my minimum value we have 1. So if you observe over here, so now again I'm incrementing to 1. Now 1 plus 1 become 2. Now always my maximum value is 3 only, because we have 3 syntaxes now. So 3 again greater than 2, so it's a true condition. So now what I will do is, now again we have to select a syntax, we have to select a syntax for second row. For that what we need to do is, same syntax, we have to copy it after the increment. So because here it is getting incremented, right? Now my minimum value contains 2. Now 2 will be coming over here. Now select syntax from purging table where id equals to 2. Now when you execute this command, for an example, I'm just hard coding, I'm just executing. So if you see, okay, now that is it, as it is a temporary table, it won't show you, but you can able to check it. So for this one, it will select the second syntax. So it will, when you run the store procedure, it will automatically get executed. Now that syntax, it will store it over here. Now first it will verify this condition. Maximum value is 3. Now the minimum value becomes 2 because we have incremented. Now 3 is basically greater than, so let me put it over here, 3 is greater than or equals to 2. It's a true condition. So now again it will get into the loop. Now this syntax already it has been assigned over here. Now the second syntax will be stored in the @ of SQL and it will get executed. So it means second table will get dropped in the second loop. Now again what it will do is, in the minimum we have value stored as 2. Now 2 plus 1 become as 3. Now 3 value is passed over here, and then the select syntax from purging table where id equals to 3, it will select the third syntax. Now that will get stored in the syntax variable. Now again it will go over here. Now 3 greater than or equals to 3. So because it's a equals to is there, so again it's a true condition. Now third syntax is stored in the variable. Now that third syntax will get dropped that particular table. Now finally my minimum value is 3. Now when it is increasing 4, now maximum value is 3, minimum value is 4. Now this condition is true because 4 is greater than 3, right? But sorry, 4 is greater than 3, but whereas the condition is like this, 3 is greater than or equals to 4, it's a false condition. 3 is not greater than or equals to 4, it's less than 4. So now what it will do is it will come out of the loop. So which means in each and every loop it is taking one by one syntax and it is dropping all the tables, right? So this is how we can able to write the store poser to drop all the unwanted tables. Let me create this. So it is already existing. So what you need to do is we'll just put a alter statement to execute it. Now let me see whether if I pass this particular null, let me pass only dbo, and we'll see whether these two objects are deleted or not. This should get exist. So I'll just pass the dbo schema name. So if you see, 2 rows are affected, so which means the tables will not get existing. So if you want, you can just simply write a query and check it instead of again going to store poser and check it. You just see whether any objects which contains this dbo with these keywords is exist in that particular database or not. Now again let me pass null. So when I pass null, now we will have only one value, right? Because already 2 tables has been removed. Now we will have only one value. So now only one row will get deleted, right? So this is how we can write a simple store poser to remove all the unwanted tables. Okay, now I'll just give you another tip over here. So whenever you are writing any execution state, like whenever you're creating any store poser, just to again instead of rewriting the execution statement again and again, we'll just put that execution statement in the last, in this slash star and star slash, so that you no need to write it again and again. We can simply take this execution statement, we can reuse it. When you put it in comments, it won't get executed. So why we have to write over here is, so if you have 10 parameters or 20 parameters and all, so again creating the execution statement will take more and more time. So that's where if you keep like this, we can able to reuse it. So this is how we can able to like purging the unwanted tables. So whatever the keywords that the client has given, and this is way we can write a simple store process. Line by line we'll write and will improve the store process. So thank you for watching my video.